This is Queer Voices.
And this is Jennifer Renee.
And this is Brian Levinka.
And we're here in the studio with Tierra Ortiz Rodriguez with Dignity, and Jerry Maynard with Campaign
Nonviolence.
Nonviolence. Yes, I wrote it down wrong. That's why I sort of paused there.
That's okay.
And we're here to talk about, you had a recent event that I'd like you to tell me about.
Yeah. Well, I think this is a story of an intersection between Dignity Houston and Campaign Nonviolence. Jerry has been a follower of Dignity Houston on Facebook, and by getting connected with Jerry, I found out that he's part of Campaign Nonviolence, and they were having a variety of actions launching on September 21st, yesterday, to promote a culture of peace, to talk about nonviolence, to talk about climate change and poverty and war and alternatives to those things. And so that's how we got connected.
And what kind of event was it, or is it?
Our peace event was a gathering of different interfaith groups, and we met at the Menil Park, and we had a public demonstration on prayer and meditation and a public dialogue on nonviolence and alternatives to war.
And one of the things we're talking about it was the fact that this is about the Catholic faith and the LGBT community.
Yes.
And Dignity. Tell us something about Dignity.
Oh, yeah. Dignity Houston. We are a nonprofit and a community of support for our LGBTQ Catholics and allies in Houston. So we're really passionate and committed about equality, social justice, education, friendship, and spiritual development. And we really are standing up for an inclusive Catholic Church. And it's not just LGBT Catholic issues that we stand up for. We really stand up for a lot of social justice issues, and that's this concept of intersectional justice, where groups intersect and where needs intersect. And so we were standing up, with Jerry and Campaign Nonviolence for issues about the environment, about other abuses. As a community, we have experienced a lot of abuse. As LGBT people, as people who sometimes are not allowed to claim the rich spiritual heritage of Catholicism, that can be very abusive. And so we know what that feels like. And so we have compassion and empathy for joining other organizations in Houston that also are marginalized.
What is the local response to Dignity and Nonviolence?
Campaign Nonviolence just recently started. Campaign Nonviolence also is a Catholic organization, but it's open to other faith denominations. Locally, there's only been 2 actions that have been held for Campaign Nonviolence within the beginning of this past couple of days. Our event was one of them. And so locally, Campaign Nonviolence hasn't really been expanded yet because it just started. But a lot of Catholic organizations that work for peace and justice, like Pax Christi USA or Pax Christi Houston, and other groups like that who are Catholic and work for justice issues, have affiliated with Campaign Nonviolence and have began to promote it in areas.
And Jerry, if I may, Campaign Nonviolence has almost 300 actions across the nation of communities coming together to engage in vigils, marches. The other Houston Campaign Nonviolence action was on climate change, and it was a march that happened Sunday, going to different corporations in Houston because
Friday.
Oh, that was Friday.
Yeah, Friday.
So we're just one out of many others across the nation.
How do you pick your actions? How do you pick which cause you're going to go after?
You decide yourself what you and your group is particular about. Many actions have 1 or 2 different events. Mostly, Campaign Nonviolence has endorsed an end to war, an abolition of war, methods of lessening poverty in our country and in the world, and climate change. So those are the 3 that we've really been advertising. But we are open to other alternatives to, different issues of violence and hate.
Mm-hmm.
And for Dignity, how is it received within the church itself? They know you exist, but you're not affiliated with the church, or are you?
No, we are not currently, and in the past, and we're talking about, going back into the founding of Dignity in the 70s, when we were. But right now we do have a liturgy that the community does together once a month, and more recently we have started to go to Mass together at a parish church. So we are wanting to reclaim our faith and go back to church. And
how does the church itself, here you a group of LGBT people, they're coming to worship, are you received well? This is what I'm trying to understand, because I'm not Catholic, and matter of fact, I didn't know you existed as an organization until I spoke with you out in the lobby, which shame on me. But tell me about that.
I think once our faith response is seen, and that faith response is in us taking action on issues that the Catholic Church really cares about, I think that we are received well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if someone listening to us hears you and wants to get in contact with your organization, how do they get in touch with Dignity?
We have a website, dignityhouston.org. We're also on Facebook, on Meetup, on Twitter. So there are many ways, and also...
And what's the name? Just Dignity?
Dignity Houston.
Okay. And Campaign Nonviolence.
If you want to get a hold of Campaign Nonviolence, all you have to do is type in on Google campaignonviolence.org, all one word, and it'll pop up right there. It's an affiliate of another Catholic organization called Pace Bene. So the website will say both Campaign Nonviolence and Pace Bene.
All right. Thank you both for coming tonight. And this is Queer Voices.
Thank you.